Something is in your house right now, not hiding, not lurking, standing in plain sight. And you've passed it so many times that you stopped noticing. This is not a horror story, it's Genesis chapter 18, where Abraham hosted angels at his table and didn't even realize it. Angels in kitchens, on dirt roads, at the entrance of a tent. They arrive quietly, leaving signs that most people mistake for coincidence. Today that changes. Today you'll learn to see what's been there all along, and once you do, you can never unsee it. 3 a.m. awakening. You go to bed fine, no alarm, no noise, and then at 2 or 3 in the morning, your eyes snap open like someone flipped a switch. You are not groggy, you are alert, almost like a hand touched your shoulder in the dark. Most people grab their phone, scroll for a minute, and force themselves back to sleep. But here is what the Bible shows us. When God or his angels wanted someone's attention, they woke them up at night. In 1 Kings 19, verse 5, an angel physically touched Elijah while he slept and said, "Arise and eat." Not in a dream, a literal touch, a literal awakening. God spoke to Samuel in the darkness of the temple. He appeared to Solomon at night. He sent an angel to free Peter from prison while the city slept. The hours between midnight and dawn are not wasted hours. They are windows, moments when the noise of your life finally goes quiet enough for heaven to reach you. So next time it happens, do not reach for your phone. Try praying. You might be surprised what follows when you stop ignoring the invitation. Peace before answers. You are in the middle of a terrible week. On bills stacking, relationships cracking, your mind running worst-case scenarios on a loop that will not stop. And then out of nowhere, this wave of calm rolls through you. Deep, warm, completely unexplainable. Nothing changed, the problems are still there. But somehow you feel held. You feel safe. Like someone wrapped a blanket around your shoulders, even though the room is empty. Philippians 4:7 calls it the peace of God, which passeth all understanding. Not the peace that comes when you figure things out. The peace that arrives when nothing makes sense, and you should be falling apart, but you are not. When the angel appeared to Mary in Luke chapter 1, her entire world had just been turned upside down. Unmarried, pregnant, facing scandal and shame, and the very first words out of the angel's mouth were not an explanation. They were "Fear not, peace before answers." That is how angels operate. If you have ever felt calm flood your chest in the middle of chaos with no source you could name, that was not a chemical accident. That was a delivery, and the courier was not human. Angels in action. This is the sign that leaves evidence. The near miss, the last-second lane change before the accident you did not see coming. The gut feeling that told you, "Do not go that way tonight," and you listened, and you are still here. Everyone has at least one of these stories. Most people call it luck. The Bible calls it something else. Psalm 91 verses 11 and 12 says, "He shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone." That is not poetry. That is a job description. Angels physically caught Daniel in a den of lions. An angel physically opened Peter's chains in prison. An angel physically blocked Balaam from walking into destruction. If you have survived something you should not have survived, if you walked away from a moment that should have ended differently, stop crediting luck. Luck is the word people use when they do not have a better explanation. You have a better one. You have had it your whole life. You just were not taught to use it. The stranger and the dream. Have you ever had a person you have never met say something to you that hit so personally it almost brought you to tears? A stranger in a grocery store, a passing comment from someone on a bench, words so specific to your private struggle that there is no rational way they could have known. On Hebrews 13:2 says, "Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares." Angels do not always arrive with wings visible. Sometimes they arrive with a coffee cup and the exact sentence your soul needed to hear at the exact moment it needed to hear it. And then there are the dreams. Not the random nonsense dreams. The other kind, the ones where you wake up with your heart pounding and the details are still razor-sharp hours later. In Matthew 2, an angel appeared to Joseph in a dream and told him to flee to Egypt. That dream saved the life of the infant Jesus. In Genesis 28, Jacob saw angels ascending and descending from heaven in a dream, and woke up saying, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not." Not every dream is divine, but the ones that stick are the ones that carry weight and feel more like a message than a movie. Those deserve more than a shrug. They deserve a prayer, because God has not stopped speaking through the night. You just stopped writing it down. What if everything you've dismissed as coincidence is actually a message? What if the moments that shook you awake, the strangers who seemed to know your heart, the sudden peace that came for no reason, all of it were not random at all? Angels are real, and they are moving in ways you cannot yet see. The question isn't whether they exist. The question is whether you will learn to recognize them before the next assignment arrives.